me life, show me love, make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love, show me life, show me love, make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love, this is all we got. Show me life, show me love, this is all we got. Show me love, show me love, this is all we got. Show me love, show me love.
Hello, hello, my beautiful morning. I want to say my beautiful morning when I usually say my beautiful people, but it is a beautiful morning and you are my beautiful people. So, welcome. Good afternoon and good evening, wherever you're tuning from. We are in the season of manifestation. Episode 5. Oh my God, we have one episode left. I can't believe this season is almost over. I had, and I'm still, of course, having so much fun. Let me see who's here with us. Hello, my beautiful Leonor. Thank you for being here. Good morning. The chat is live and popping, so let me know that you're here. This is going to be interesting today. For this is an episode for um all the skeptics, everyone that, first of all, do all the things that we need to do. Share the broadcast, let people know we here. Because today is really an episode that if you don't understand manifestation, you're not very a spiritual person, or, you know, it's not really your vibe because you don't really believe in it, today is for you because today we're getting into the science of manifestation and we're going to talk about the teachings of Dr. Joe Dispenza, which is probably one of the most brilliant minds of our time. So, it's gonna be interesting. I've been studying Joe Dispenza, I wanna say probably about 7 years, maybe a little more, probably more. uh, really used his meditation and his work um, during cancer, because he speaks about healing and in a very deep, beautiful way, and he speaks about meditation in a very interesting way. So I'm familiar with his work. I used his work. His work worked for me. Like I said in the beginning of this season, I only brought here teachers that I worked with their teachings that, excuse me, that worked for me, that helped me, and that I felt like can be a way for you to understand manifestation from many different angles. Again, all speak kind of the same, all bring you to the same idea at the end of the day, but from many different angles. And I think bringing science into manifestation is very important. So, if you're here, say hi in the chat. Let me know where you're from, what you're doing. If you know Dr. Dispenza, of course, I would love to know if you have experience with his work. Share that with me. And in the meantime, I'll just let you know that we're here. Wonderful. So, a few words about Dr. Joe Dispenza. Who is he and why is his work so revolutionary? I'm sorry. Dry throat. Let me do this real quick. In the meantime, you guys can chat with me. Did you do your homework from last week, by the way? Seven Faces of Intention. My sister is here saying hi. Hi, Maravi. Good to see you here, mommy. Thank you for being here. Um, you know, a few people already wrote me in emails to that they've been doing the homework and they see their results. It's very easy to see the difference in our reality and in what how life is happening for us, not to us, which is a big part in just the life of manifestation. Because when we take it in and really understand that everything is happening for us, every experience helps us change the way we look at things and change our mind. This I had this quote too last week. I don't know how I didn't change it, how I didn't show it to you, but when you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at change. Love this quote. It's actually not a Dyer quote, but he made it very famous, so everybody gives it to him. But I think it's like a priest or something that says it many, many moons ago. So really, work of self-awareness and that type of work of alignment that we've been speaking about, those are the things that help you see your reality change. So all those exercises that I've been giving you thus far, excuse me, really will help you manifest and will help you start changing your reality, changing the way you see things, and changing how your life is occurring. Let me see who's in the live chat. Hello is here. Hey. Okay, I hope this is not going to become a thing today. So who's Dr. Joe Dispenza? Joe Dispenza was a chiropractor, and he had a practice, I believe, in California. And he was a very active man. He was doing all kinds, obviously, a chiropractor. He believes in wellness and vitality. He did a marathon, and in the bike part of the marathon, he got hit by a truck and broke his spine. Um, Every doctor, of course, rushed to the hospital. Every doctor that was there told him he will never walk again. He sought the opinion of other doctors, doctors he knew and believed in their way. I think he went to 4 different doctors, and all 4 told him the same, that he'll never walk again. Just basically the way the break was. He broke, I think, 5 or more vertebrae. I have the number. I think I wrote it in here somewhere, but a good amount of vertebrae he broke in his spine. And everybody told him he would need a surgery for sure. And the surgery will be just to kind of help him with the quality of his life, but the amount of pain that he will suffer, but he probably will never walk again. And he refused to believe it because he was a chiropractor, but he also really believed in like higher power and intelligence. And he said he took time to decide with himself what he wanted to do. And after thinking about it very heavily, he decided he doesn't want to go with the surgery. He says that everybody thought he was like going through PTSD from the accident, and like there's no logic, and try to force him into it, thinking he's like just, really losing it. Because why would you say no to a surgery when you're in so much pain and there's nothing else to be done? But he said he kept believing in higher intelligence. And to him, the way he saw it was intelligence is consciousness, and consciousness is awareness, and awareness must pay attention. So it's paying attention to him. So if he can connect with that awareness and give her a plan, or give her, a structure of what to do, maybe they can work together and they can heal. 6.5 weeks. This man went through hell, but 6.5 weeks he tried every single day to bring that plan that he had, which is, bringing back his spine into alignment. He said, it was the hardest thing, because the most important part for him while he was in that process was to not lose the awareness of what he was trying to do. And we can't. We know how this box works, right? There's over 70,000 thoughts a day, and most of them are the same thoughts, which is part of what we're talking about today. But sorry, let's see. I have been waiting for the Dr. Joe Dispenza episode. Wonderful. I'm happy you're here, my love. Um, so he said that that was the hardest part, staying focused, because he was trying to imagine his spine getting basically aligned, But every time his mind will, start venturing out. What if I'll never walk again? What if I have to sell my practice? How, what if, all these fearful thoughts, which are normal. But to him, the goal was to get to a point where he can go through the whole process of imagining his spine clicking back together, right? All the vertebrae without any interruptions. It took him 6.5 weeks to do that. He said once he did, he felt something clicked literally in his back. And then that took him 3 hours. But once he did it one time and started doing it over and over again, that was really, he said it took him about 45 minutes to keep going and like doing that meditation, right? This manifestation meditation where he saw himself walking again, living again, healed. In 10.5 weeks, he started walking again. And in 12 weeks, he was running and back at his practice. We're talking about 3 months, 3 months of really deep conscious work that man managed to be able to walk again and run his practice and go back to work when every doctor told him he'll never walk again. So to him, that was so mind boggling that he really just wanted to understand, more on that field, like more about science, more about quantum physics, more. And this is what we're going to do today, because today we're not going to learn manifestation as a belief. We're going to learn manifestation as biology, which is like, and me, biology, weirdest things have happened. This is why I love it, though, and this is why I love Joe Dispenza, because he constantly talks about breaking the habits of being ourselves. And it really is such a profound sentence to kind of hold on to and keep in your mind. Put it on a post it, put it wherever you can. Break the habit of being yourself, because this version of us cannot manifest the life that we want, because it only was able to manifest the life that we have now. In order to create more, we have to be more, and we have to understand how that works on a mind body connection. And that's really what he did. He basically, I think 18 years he studied. He traveled over 100 countries and just researched all these cases of people, almost dying, can't walk, the worst conditions, and then all of a sudden feeling good again. And that's really what was behind what he was trying to understand, like what created the shift, what made the change. He looked in many textbooks. He couldn't find any answers because there was no conventional answers, because it wasn't conventional what happened to him, So that's when he started developing his really field that he's mastering right now, which is, you know, blending science and spirituality together. So he works with neuroscience, he works with epigenetics, and he works with quantum physics, and he mixes everything with spirituality to help us understand how we can heal ourselves, how we can manifest our lives. He has incredible workshops that he does that really are a week long, where people go there, blind, and start seeing, and can hear and start hearing, and walk in a wheelchair and walk out on their legs. Like, it's incredible to understand the power of the mind. And once, it's not just the mind, right? That's the whole most important part with Joe Dispenza's work, is the coherent mind and coherent heart. And that's like the key to his work. Let me see who's here. Yeah, Elle says, "Hi, beautiful sis. So excited to be here. Happy to have you here." Um, so we're going to start with quotes today. I'm going to teach you, what I kind of build together as the 6 pillars of science manifestations, which are the main important things in his studies. Um, don't let it scare you. Don't let it sound scary. Neuroscience and quantum physics. You're talking over here. The one that's teaching you, Miss Lulu-Lee, doesn't have a GED, right? I failed math. So, I mean, I actually didn't fail. I never went to take the test. So that doesn't count. But You can become who you want to become and know everything. And I'm saying it as a place of proud, not like belittling myself, God forbid. Like, I didn't think I was smart when I was younger. And now in the last, I don't know, 20 years, I've been studying philosophy. I would never thought that. So we can become anything and everything. And this is a huge part of this episode too, because we're breaking the habit of being ourselves and what we believe ourselves to be. So don't let all this science scare you, because it really is very interesting to just understand in a very simple way. So these are, I'm going to give you the quick 6 pillars just as a rundown, and then we're going to go to each and every one of them. And again, you know the vibes. Let me know in the chat if you have any questions, if you're trying to understand something, if I'm speaking too fast. Where are we? Where are we? Not the first pillar. All 6 pillars. Oh my God. Okay, there we are. Excuse me. So, the 6 pillars of scientific manifestation, right? Coherence is the first one. When the thoughts and the emotions align and the signal becomes stronger, the body as the subconscious mind, the frontal cortex and neurological reset, epigenetics, changing the gene expression, elevated emotions as biological signals, and rehearsing the future. We are creatures of habit. And unfortunately, a lot of times habit become a form of comfort for us because it gives us control, or so we think, right? It's not really control because it actually damages us and damages our growth. But when we have the same habits and we do the same thing in a certain way, we feel like we have control over our lives, over our day to day. And that really where things starting to hurt our growth. We have to push ourselves into discomfort because, I'm sure you heard me say it before. We love the uncomfortable comfort zone, right? Because it's not really comfortable to be in the place that we don't like. We're not comfortable where we are, but we know it. We're used to it. So it becomes our comfort zone. And then it becomes our habit to stay in there. And in order to push ourselves out of it, we have to do it mindfully and intentionally. Self awareness is the biggest key in Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, because unless I'm aware of what I'm doing, I will never be able to change it. And I can never be afraid of, discomfort, right? Discomfort is basically evidence of change. And if I'm trying to grow, really, that's really what I want to do. I want to look at those moments that I feel uncomfortable and then go from there and start the work from there. So, the first pillar of change, like we said, is coherence. Um, and that is really, for me, I can tell you days and days and days, all I just kept telling myself is coherent mind and coherent heart. Coherent mind. That was like my mantra. And what coherence means is the mind, the thought, everything has a frequency, right? This is electric, this is magnetic. Okay? We send electric frequency with our thoughts, magnetic frequencies with our feelings, and basically the universe sends back things to affirm them. Once we start understanding that the reality around us is created by this and we're aware of it, then we start seeing how we can change it. But we have to understand first and foremost that these two together on a scientific level create our reality. Now, it's not just like, let me live the wish fulfilled. I have to live from the end and I have to see my future, because if I'm not here in the present moment creating a desire, then I'm either stuck in my habitual past, or, live in a predictable future because I'm constantly doing the same thing and I'm constantly living my habits. So I don't want a predictable future. and I don't want the known past already. So the only thing I can do is put my energy fully in the present moment in the most coherent way, which means this and this are in alignment. I'm gonna bring the pillar. Wait, let me see. And let me bring myself. Am I? Let me shrink. There, yeah. And I think I'm gonna glasses, so let's go. So coherence, thoughts and feelings in alignment. Thought create electric signal in the brain and feelings create magnetic signal in the body. When both match, you produce coherence. In physics, coherence means organized energy, a stronger, clearer signal, and less internal friction, which is what we want basically in order to manifest our heart's desires. The stronger the signal, the better it will be for us to receive everything that we want. Most people think positively, right? But feel fear, doubt, or lack. That mismatch weakens the signal. Manifestation isn't about wanting, it's about signal clarity. It doesn't matter how much we want it, the desire, we can think about it all we want. You know, we spoke about it in the past episodes about imagining. We can imagine it as much as we want from here, but even in the all other episodes we spoke about the feeling and the emotion, and here you can see it from a scientific angle. This is a way that actually broadcasts a signal, an energetic signal, coherence to the universe. So if it's not the single, if not, it's not in alignment, it's not going to be strong. And that mismatch of me thinking about wanting money, but really in my body, I'm feeling lack. I'm basically disconnecting from what I really actually trying to create for myself. You're always broadcasting something, my beautiful people. Coherence determines the strength. So I want to work on my coherence. And the way to do it is to constantly clear the mind and, of course, focus on the feeling. And those two things really, I can't even, that's like the core of the work to get. That's why I said self-awareness is so important, because if I'm not aware of my thoughts and I'm not aware of my feelings, I will never be able to manifest what I want. I have to figure out and see myself in my thoughts. If I'm trying to change, I feel like I'm impatient, and I'm trying to change and become a more patient person because I feel like it will help me manifest a better relationship with my children, a better job, a better relationship with a loved one. Because every time that my relationship breaks up, it's because I'm an impatient person. I have to own my impatience. I have to see it, and I can't be scared of it when it comes up, right? I have to see it so I'm be able to change it. And when I do see it, I have to show it to myself and change it in the moment. That's the difference between knowing and being aware, is the change right in the moment. And even if I can't change it, the fact that I started to make myself aware of it and see myself through it and unlearn what I've been conditioned for years and days, that's where change will start. Because if I saw a moment where I was impatient and I stopped and I told myself, damn, that was very impatient of me to do. That's okay. I'm already one step forward, right? So not being patient, that's not the point right now. Not looking at my impatience as failure is very important right now. I'm looking at my impatience because I'm aware of it as another step forward in my journey to become that patient version of myself that I want. Let me see. Good morning, gorgeous. Good morning, Naomi. I love you. Hi, good to see you. So that's your first pillar. And that's a very important one, like I said. The second pillar, let's see. Trying to bring myself again. I have to minimize myself. The body as the subconscious. All right. You know, We speak a lot about the mind and a lot about thinking and imagining, but we can think greater than how we feel. Our feelings are always going to be stronger than our thoughts. That's what keep, you know, bringing the thoughts. If you're in an anxious mode, for example, let me do that. Oh, if we're in an anxious mode and an anxiety mode and we're constantly stressing on it, what keeps the thoughts is not the actual thought, it's the feelings that it evoked within us. Because the anxiety felt in the body. It's the knots, it's the stress, it's the short of breath, right? We feel anxiety very, very strongly. And that actually empowers the thought. So we can think greater than how we feel. That's one thing that Joe Dispenza is very big on his teachings. In order to change what we think, we have to change how we feel. And that's got to do with our environment. So I'm going to go back to the slide. Uh, I can't keep popping my. I don't know. I can't keep popping myself on the. There we go. There we go. No, I'm staying big in here. No, I'm really tiny. Okay. The body doesn't forget. It remembers emotionally. Absolutely. I know you know that. This is disease, my beautiful people. That's the origin of disease. When the body's memory. It's an emotional memory. Every emotion releases chemicals. Repeated emotions condition the body, and over time, the body becomes addicted to these emotional states. And that is probably, I know I keep saying it's more most important, but these are very important things to understand because we get addicted to the feeling, not because we want to, it's because what our body is used to. So when we offer a different frequency, when we offer change, the body doesn't know what to do with it. It feels so uncomfortable that we're going to start rationalizing why it makes sense to not do it, right? Like the example I gave for being impatient. No, of course I'm going to be impatient. It makes sense. They yelled, they this, they did that, they do that. He honked the horn. I'm going to rationalize everything I can in order to support what I just did and how I felt and how I reacted because my body is already addicted to that feeling that this thought is feeling together creating. And I don't know how to get out of it because I've been here for so long. So, in order for me to manifest something different, how I feel is the most important thing to start with changing because the feeling in the body is the strongest one that's going to keep me stuck in my way of being that I'm trying to change. And exactly what it says in here, and we're going to get to the chemicals in the next pillars when I speak about epigenetics, but they really are, the emotions release chemicals, and that's why the mind body connection is so important. People want change intellectually but keep returning to the same pattern emotionally. The subconscious is not just memory, it's chemistry, my beautiful people. If the body is still living in the past, the future stays theoretical. It sure is. It sure is. We cannot change the future when the body is still stuck in here. And I can tell you from my mind diet journey, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're more than welcome to season 2 wellness. I can't remember what number episode it was, but it's called Mind Diet. And I spoke about my journey with eating disorder. Me knowing how to eat, chewing slowly, these are things that I'm still working on every single day, trying to break out of the habit of being myself. Even the other day, I took ice cream and I'm so used to eating ice cream, from the little container, right? And I don't eat the whole thing. I eat as much as I need to, but I eat it from the container. And I took it and I told myself, maybe I should put it in a bowl. And the next thought was, well, I like eating from the container. I never put it in the bowl. And as soon as I said those words to myself in my head, I never put it in the bowl. I said, okay, then this I is not who I want to be. I'm going to be an I that does put it in a bowl. And in that moment, I went back in the kitchen. I took the ice cream, I put it in the bowl, and I became a person who eats ice cream from a bowl. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Change is not going to happen in one day. And that's something that you must remember. Patience and consistency is everything in all forms of manifestation. I don't care if it's, we spoke about Napoleon Hill. You saw how long it took people over the examples I gave you over there with Ford and many of them. If we talk about Abraham Hicks, when we talked about Dr. Dyer, when we talked about Neville Goddard, all of them speaks about patience and consistency. It's no difference in here. It takes time to create a different chemical reaction in the body. So me eating ice cream from a bowl today reaffirmed to my mind something different. And what happens in the mind? We start new neuroscience wiring of neurons. Okay, and he has one of my favorite sentences: the cells that wire together fire together. Okay, or the cells that fire together wire together, however he says it. But what it means is once we start doing those little changes, at some point when we're consistent with it, those changes will create new wiring in our mind, and it will change and it will lock in, and you'll become the different person because now it's automatic. Now it's natural to the mind to know it, and it's natural in the body already because it started changing the chemistry of it. So now every time I'm going to eat ice cream from a bowl, I'm reaffirming that new belief about myself that this is who I am and not that person, and creating that change in the mind will create the change in the body and help me become a new version of myself. I know I have some live chat. Let me see what's going on. Hila says, hey sis, so happy it's Wednesday. Hey, good to see you, my love. I can use and apply this with to my team. Yes, yes, do it, Michael. It will be great for you, for your team, because really, Michael is a basketball coach. So when you're working and you're doing the same rotation, but you're trying to break out of that because defense is going to be different, or offense is going to be different. That you got to show them that they can do different things. You got to show them that they can become somebody different instead of repeating the same. Because if you're going to repeat the same, you're going to get the same result, obviously, right? Nothing changes if nothing changes. So that's definitely a good way to introduce them to Joe Dispenza. I'm telling you, it's gonna become incredible. And he speaks a lot about gratitude too. I wanna mention that. I know all of them speaks about gratitude, but gratitude is such a huge part of everything because when you're grateful, you already believe in that new future, in that new version of you. So when you are in that place of gratitude, you are changing again the electromagnetic signal that you send out to the universe. And that can really help change many things else. I think I have some quotes in here. Let's see. To change is to think greater than your environment. Absolutely. An environment is inner and outer. We're going to get to that. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Where's the third pillar? Let's go to the third pillar. Um, we're talking about the frontal cortex. Okay. The frontal cortex and meditation as a neurological reset, my beautiful people. Now we're moving fully into science, because if you thought meditation is that, I don't meditate, I'm not really a spiritual person, I don't really believe in meditation, I don't know about sin inside. This is not about, your spiritual connection. It helps. Absolutely. It's a huge part of it. You can look at meditation as a spiritual ritual, and it's part of it. It is absolutely, because, it's what we do. It's what helps us to get in spirit. I told you many times when I manage to silence my mind, and it can take me a long time. Sometimes I can't. But when I do, inspiration hits. That's it really gives it that, and again, silencing the mind is not really realistic. We're not really silencing it. We're just slowing it down enough to allow inspiration to come in. But Dr. Dispenza speaks about it from a scientific and a neurological angle. So the frontal cortex, right, governs imagination, intention, decision making, and self awareness. Chronic stress shuts it down and enhances our survival mode, which keeps us trapped in the past. Most of anxiety, I can tell you that from somebody who suffered from PTSD. When you're in anxiety mode and when you're in stress, our brain was really made for flight or fight, right? I'm sure you heard that term before. There was not a lot of things back in Stone Age for us to do or deal with. It was either I'm running from the bear or I'm killing the bear, so I'll have a meal. That really was the two options. So when we're constantly in stress mode and learn to be more in stress because our environment now is so stressful and our lives are full of stress and we don't do anything to help us distress, again, the chemical reaction in the body of stress becomes addicted to that feeling. And as much as you want to become someone else and do something else, you can, because it's not just about this work. If you're not going to change this, which means embodiment, constant embodiment, changing in a physical way, taking action. I cannot tell you how important it is because that's the thing that's going to make the change. You have to break the habit of being yourself by creating and doing something different. Wake up from the different side of the bed in the morning. Every morning, think about it. You wake up the same way. You go, you brush your teeth, you make your coffee, you pee, you get ready for whatever it is, work, you take the same route to work. Like if your day to day looks the same, you'll never be able to create something different unless you intentionally and mindfully do something different so you can create a different chemical reaction in the body to the emotion, to the electric and magnetic signals that you're sending out to the universe. And when we're in chronic stress and the frontal cortex is shut down, there is no room for imagination or inspiration or intention. I can't imagine a compelling future. I'm stuck on my past. I'm stuck on my every single day to day, regular things that I do, right? So if I want to not live a predictable future, I have to change it right now in the present moment. And meditation is the form of scientific point of view is more of a neurological reset, not a spiritual escape, but a biological interruption of conditioning. My beautiful people, I hope you're taking some pictures of these slides or, you know, definitely Google Joe Dispenza. I was trying to get a QR code with his book, Becoming Supernatural, which is an incredible book to read. It's just mind blowing. But for some reason it wouldn't let me use that link from YouTube. But you can go on YouTube, Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza. I think it's a 10-hour audio book. It will change your life. It will change what you know and what you think about manifesting, about healing yourself, about doing all these things that you can do from your mind body connection. Um, it quiets the lower brain so the frontal cortex can do what it needs to do, come back online, imagine new possibilities, and create new futures. I was trying to make these slides and write them in a way that will be easy for you to understand. I hope it is. Again, I know science and quantum physics and epigenetics, it's like heavy, but it's really we can understand it, I hope, by this language and understand how we can implement it in our day to day life. You cannot create a new future while your nervous system is still stuck in survivor. No, you cannot. It's really, so like these glasses. It really is not something you can do when the body is stuck in stress mode. So Always keep yourself mindful of that. That, like I said before, this box thinks an average 70 plus thousand thoughts a day. And most of the time, we think the same thoughts that we thought yesterday. How many times you wake up, if I don't know, if you went to a heartbreak, you're stuck on the heartbreak for a while because every single day you open your eyes and you're back in your reality and back in the same thought. Everything is, if you go into a diet or you go into disease, you wake up to the same reality. And the same reality means the same thoughts, but it doesn't have to be. Not if you mindfully use them and change them and understand the chemical reaction that they do to the body. And it has to start with the body. So if I want to change this thought and this box and not think the same thoughts, I will do things differently. Again, you see my hair? I'm embodying many different changes. Wait, what? What? There we go. Many different changes, little things that I do for myself. Like I told you, the ice cream in a bowl, or doing my hair a little bit different, or actually investing in my nails and not cutting them short all the time and not doing anything with them because I want to see myself and feel myself differently so I can think myself differently and think myself into that new version and think myself into the future that I want. We are in pillar number 4, I think, right? Let's see. Epigenetics, my beautiful people. Hold on. Again, we don't want to be in the familiar past and we don't want to be in the predictable future. So let's understand how we can do that from an epigenetic point of view. Genes are not destiny. If you don't know what that means, you'll understand it in a second. Genes do nothing on their own. They are influenced by our experiences. They express themselves by making protein. Okay? Protein builds tissue, immune response, health, or disease patterns. What control protein production? Signals from our internal and external environment like stress, diet, lifestyle, toxin, and a variety of other emotions. Emotions create chemical signals that tell genes turn on, turn off, or change the expression, meaning you're not changing your DNA, you're changing what the body is reading. Let me break it down. You don't change the DNA. The gene actually is the same gene, it just changes its expression. Okay? So it can change, obviously, by the environment. An environment can be internal or external, right? So it can be the lifestyle around me that can change it. If there's stress, for example, me living in a country of terror, constant PTSD, constant stress, I was a different person than who I am living in America. Absolutely guaranteed. And I can tell you, when I first moved here, I would go in Grand Central in the city, the biggest train station in New York City, hundreds and hundreds of people, and the levels of anxiety that will be in my body just from seeing so many people. Why? Because to me, I come from a country that if there is a crowd, you got to be careful. It might be a terror attack and somebody going to bomb us, blow themselves up, and everybody going to die. I've seen it time and time again happen. So it was my reality. That reality is here and here in the body. I walk into Grand Central, I see a lot of people, automatically my body reacts to it. It's a chemical reaction that the body is addicted to already. I had to work on my PTSD. I had to work on releasing that stress and helping myself create a new environment, living in a new external environment and creating a new internal environment because the gene expression changes by my environment. So I can have a disease or I can be healthy, right? I can feel a certain way because the genes are what creating the proteins. And like it says in here in the slide, the proteins is what builds the immune response, the health, disease pattern, all of that. So if I can control my environment, especially my internal environment, right? I'm the one that creates my internal environment with the way I think and the way I speak to myself and my self awareness and my choices every single day, once I'm aware of them, eating an ice cream from the can or eating an ice cream from a bowl, right? Getting mad and yelling or taking a deep breath and changing, becoming more patient. I control it. So I automatically control the gene expression in my body. And with that, the protein production. And with that, the level of my health. That's why when I had breast cancer, I had no intention of doing any chemo or radiation or hormonal therapy because I knew that it's this and this. And I have the ability within my body and my mind to change it, to heal it, right? I told myself, you created this type of gene expression by the trauma that's been sitting within you. You kept getting triggered by it over and over again, and it messed with your body chemistry. Change it. That's why I said when I was going through my healing journey of breast cancer, I worked a lot with Dr. Joe Dispenza. His meditations of the coherent mind and coherent heart and broadcasting a different, frequency and receiving a different frequency, all of it. So I can change the chemistry and change my gene expression. All of it was so meaningful, so powerful, and so profound. I saw the results. I still see the results, thank God. So it's all about us. There was a little something in there. Your emotional state is instructing your biology. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. Let me see what you guys are saying. Mirav says, lots of love from Neria. Thank you. Love you, Neria. I've read the book. It's incredible. Becoming Supernatural, incredible. Incredible. I didn't read it. I listened. I audio read it. But it really is such a powerful book. I highly recommend it to everybody. Uh Let me see what do I have in here? Be uncomfortable. Did I read this quote? Let's read this quote. When you understand that change really requires becoming uncomfortable to a certain degree, and that's normal, you're living the unknown and stepping into, you're living the known and stepping into the unknown. Okay? And that's so important because we can know things, right? I know I need to change, but knowledge without experience doesn't help me. It just gets stuck in the mind. It has to come with experience, it has to come with the body. Oh my God, how do we have 12 minutes left? What? What? This is like running, flying. Okay, let me bring myself on this screen. Oh, now I'm a little smaller, but not small enough. Too big for this screen. Um, Elevated emotions as biological signal. What many speaks of as positive thinking, Dr. Joe explains as biological signaling. Elevated emotions like gratitude, I told you about before, love, awe, and inspiration create a different chemical environment that produces less stress hormones, more coherence, and better regulation. The body doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality, just like our subconscious mind, and responds chemically either way. The body begins to experience the future now before it physically happens. Just like the mind, it's exactly the same, but they have to be in alignment. That's why coherent mind, coherent heart, my beautiful people. Healing and manifestation follow the same biological rules. Yes, they do. It's so important to understand it. I have a quote where he says, live survival, letting go starts in the body, right? So once we release, we move from survival to creation. We move from fear to faith, and we move from striving to allowing. Beautifully said. Let me see what else I have in here. Oh, we make 35,000 choices a day. You're the one who makes those choices. If you're not going to choose something different, you choose what to eat, you choose what to wear, you choose how to eat, you choose how to react, you choose what to say, how to drive, everything. It's all choices, 35,000 choices a day. If you're not going to choose differently at least part of the time, how do you expect to manifest a different reality for yourself? The last pillar, let me see. Rehearsing the future until the body learns it. Yes, yes, and yes again. Mental rehearsal creates new neural pathways. That's what I said before on of the firing and wiring. It's because the body really runs on the past, right? It's on autopilot. So the change has to begin with interruptions, right? Basically interruption, not affirmation. Which we do affirmations a lot, but affirmations is more for the mind. We have to do some interruption and create some kind of change in the body, so we're not stuck on autopilot, waking up from the same side of the bed, making the same cup of coffee, driving the same route to work. If we're not going to create any kind of interruption and break the pattern, you can forget about change. It really is just not going to happen. Uh, Mental rehearsal creates new neural pathways, emotional rehearsals conditions the body, repetition turns what's possible into the familiar. And that's a beautiful sentence to remember. I took it obviously from his words because once we know it's possible and we do it, we get used to it, our self-confidence, self-awareness becomes self-confidence. And now we are sure of what we're doing and how things are looking like. And when we're on that path, now it's become familiar. And now we're good with that familiar. It's a familiar we were trying to create. It's not the familiar we were trying to let go of. Now we created a new familiar. Practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes permanent. Deliberately form new positive habits through self awareness, meditation, and focused intention to replace old patterns by firing new circuits until they become automatic. Nerve cells that fire together, wire together. Here we are. I said it correctly. I had it in here. He always speaks about too how thoughts are the language of the brain and feelings are the language of the body. And how you think and how you feel creates your state of being. So when I align those state of being, and I said it before in some episodes, that's my personality. And my personality creates my personal reality. And in order to create a different personal reality, I have to change some angles of my personality and some aspects of the way I behave and the things that I do and the way that I speak, the way that I eat, the way that I walk, all of these things, those little changes will really help us become a different version of ourselves. If you're in the chat with me, let me know if you have anything to say. Those are the six pillars. I hope it made sense. Again, like I said, I know it sounds heavy like quantum physics and epigenetics, but it really is just understanding that gratitude and self awareness and thinking in a way that feels different in the body and changing things that we do in the body will help us think differently is all literally on a scientific level will help us manifest our heart's desires and will help us heal. Like I said, if you read Supernatural, people that have been going through hell for years just by starting to change the way they look at themselves and understanding who they are and holding themselves accountable for it. Like I know I eat fast. I used to joke about myself and call myself a vacuum cleaner. If I don't want to be a vacuum cleaner, stop calling yourself a vacuum cleaner. And you know what? Stop eating so fast. So calm down and eat slow. And if you see you eating fast, put the fork down and take a deep breath and pause. All these little changes will help create new firing and wiring in our mind that will remind us and affirm us of that new version of ourselves that we're trying to become. I'm going to give you the homework in a second. Let me see. Halo says, so many of his words accompany me in my everyday life. He's truly a life-changing person. He really is. He created a whole new language, and science and spirituality has never been heard of before. That man is brilliant. His work is going to be with us for many, many, many years to come, and just I really highly recommend reading a little bit about it. Even Google him on YouTube. There are millions, and like really, I'm sure, I don't know millions, but like thousands of videos that you can listen to, from 4 minutes to 60 seconds to 30 minutes to 5 hours, just listening to his brilliant brain and how he speaks about, the thought is and the feeling and the coherent mind and all these things that I explained. I don't want to keep repeating myself, although repetition is the mother of all skills, as Tony Robbins always says. So just stay focused on that. I want to see that I didn't, before we go into our homework, that I didn't miss anything um in my notes. You're guided not through logic, but through resonance. Yes. So keep it, align with it, embody it, and make sure that you stick to it. That's it. Wow. I said all of the, this discomfort is the, what is it? Can't even understand my own writing. Oh, it's the compatible and friend of growth. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. All right, let's put this homework slide real quick. It's nothing crazy. It's really the same things as I've been giving you guys all of this season. Get comfortable being uncomfortable and start doing things differently so you can manifest a new version of yourself. So it's not hard work. You know that. You just have to do the work. So this is your homework for today or for the week. Let me fix this. If you can't change small daily patterns, the body won't trust big future visions yet. So today, everything, you told yourself you're going to drink water, drink the damn water. You told yourself you're going to read a book, read one page of the book. Little actions that you will take, again, will help all of these neuro changes, firing, wiring, creating new neural pathways that will affirm you on your way, that you are actually changing. And then it creates a different chemical feeling in the body, and the body will align with the mind, and the mind will align with the body, and it's going to be a party of manifestation of all your heart's desires. Here are a couple, not a couple, three actually, things that you can do. Three options. Nervous system reset. Brush your teeth with your non dominant hand. I can't tell you how incredible that is. I've done it for a month. Life changing, life changing. Brushing my teeth with my left hand rather than my right hand, life changing. Notice frustration, awareness, presence. That discomfort, that's a new neural territory. Again, creating new neural pathways. Identity and embodiment. Change a beauty habit. Last like I gave you guys that offer last week too. A new lipstick color, a different hairstyle. Wear something slightly outside of your usual identity and observe how the body reacts before the mind explains how, why, where not. Oh, I'm not comfortable. Oh, it's not my vibe. Oh, I don't wear jeans. Oh, don't worry about it. Just see how the body feels in it before the mind jumps into it. Option three, daily routine shift. Take a different route, sit in a new place, start your morning differently, see the new you in action, just like I said before. Bottom line, you don't have to believe in manifestation. Just experiment with interruptions and let the body do the learning, my beautiful people. I hope this episode brought you a little of a different perspective and a different angle to manifestation and showed you that it's more than just spirituality. Wow, wow, yeah, let's connect to source intention and let's think from the end. This is epigenetics. This is you changing the chemical actual expression of your gene that will change your reality and your environment and everything you're trying to do Last week is our last episode. I told you guys before I have an incredible guest, Sanjeev Chopra. Deepak Chopra's brother is going to be my guest, and going to talk to us about purpose and about happiness and about all these beautiful things that he speak about. I cannot wait to listen to him. He's so inspirational. I hope you'll be here. Please tell everybody you know, tell your friends. Don't forget to visit the YouTube channel. Like I said, I don't have any QR codes for you guys today. It wasn't working for me. But I do have one last quote, I think. I had a quote about gratitude. Uh, Future vision. No, this one. If you're not being defined by a vision of the future, then you're left with the old memories of the past. I don't even remember if I said it before, but I know I wanted to say it again. So here we go. Hit me up. Don't forget, be kind. I appreciate always the one commodity that you can never get back, which is your time. Hope you learned something new today. Hope tomorrow morning you can wake up from the different side of the bed, take a different route, drink tea instead of coffee, brush your teeth with a different hand, and just break the habit of being yourself. If you haven't been in YouTube or you're watching from somewhere else, please join the community. Find me on social media everywhere. Find me on YouTube. On Where am I? There I am. Find me on YouTube right here, where you can see I have posts, I have shorts, inspiration, not just the show. There are many things going on the YouTube channel. So please join the community of inspirational beauties and subscribe, follow, and yeah, it's good things. And let me know. Let me know if you need anything from me, anything that I can do for you in your manifestation journey. I don't have any clue what the fourth season is going to be about. I'm thinking between personal stories of you guys or relationships. So if you have a preference, please share it with me and let me know. Chat with Lulu-Lee. I'm always here, loving to hear from you, loving to hear your suggestion. Let me see what else is going on in the live chat before we call it a day. Can't wait for next week. Can't wait for next week. Face red heart shape. Okay, I love that emoji. It's so funny to me that it always details the emoji. What is that? Okay, I read that before. Thank you, everybody. I'm wishing you an incredible new day in breaking the habit of being yourself, changing, rewiring your reality, and enjoying the science of becoming supernatural. I'll see you all next week. Many blessings. Love you. Bye.
Show me life, show me love, make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love, show me life, show me love, make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love, this is all we got. Show me life, show me love, this is all we got. Show me